You're retro trekking with the Caramel Apples podcast, the apple snack that brings you a retro vibe, both crunchy and sweet. Orchard Archivers, we are right smack in the fall sports season, better known as NFL season. And the tailgaters are ready. Join us, jump in right along with us to have the fun, with your hosts, Kennedy Rizzo and Cooper Lee. Oh my goodness, good season here.
Yes, and you can just literally hear the fans chanting, right? Like
100%, because fall is amazing for literally hundreds and thousands of things. But really, before we get into all things football,
yeah, okay. Please subscribe if you're liking our topics here and the directions we like to go with all things nostalgic and fun. And be sure to say hello and let's try to have a conversation on social media. And if you're in the mood for something nice and hot and creamy and sweet, so are we. So cruise right on over to buymeacoffee.com/RetroTrekwithTheCaramelApples. Feel free to give us a little bit of a Java boost. We so appreciate you. We really do. Thanks a latte. So truthfully, when it comes down to, as Kennedy mentioned, the football season, NFL season, it really does go hand in hand with things that are, you got the crisp air, you've got leaves, people are accumulating their leaves, and then any given Monday, any given Thursday, any given Sunday, you have a football game.
nice reference
And
there,
the
Coop.
fans are ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's something that really really does resonate with a lot of people, and it doesn't really matter what gender, right? Like men and women both, they'll get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it isn't for everybody.
Truth. That's truth. Absolutely. Yes.
I'm one of those people.
What's the matter with you? No, 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 no! No, please! No!
Now, don't get me wrong. I do appreciate what football, the nostalgia of it, what the NFL stands for people. I get that. It's practically, it has a following. It has a
Yeah.
thing for people. It does a thing for people. But I think it's one of the things you either like or you don't. And I'm not super familiar with it. Like, I don't really, I'm telling on myself, understand the logistics of it. Like, I see people running on the field. I get that it's a modern representation of what war used to be like, and I think that's why guys get into it. It's a very masculine, testosterone driven sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I've got familiar with football, and I'll just go real quick on it, was high school.
Yep.
When mom, because we were doing it because our friends were doing it, like that. So I think it was more of a, hey, because they're doing it, this seems cool or trendy or fun.
Yeah.
She'd take us to a couple games and stuff. We might have had a crush on a couple of the players or whatever. We was cool with them.
Truth be
Okay,
told.
yeah. So Kennedy's telling on herself again, but then shortly after that, college football. That was fun because of the rivalry. There's those rival college teams, that get everybody rabid and going at each other, just for that team spirit or whatever on either side.
Absolutely, yes, and that's something that can get really sketchy sometimes.
It is because Coop and I are rebels. We're natural born rebels, and we are in one state. We reside in the one state that thinks it's the best, and then we we root for the other side just to do like some good natured ribbing, and it
And
does cause some
literally
problems.
have for some time. Like this isn't something like we've been doing this well into like 30 years going now. We've been rooting for the other side, and
Yes,
it does kind of poke people in the eye, but
it does. But like most things in pop culture, like things really do like grow legs.
yeah.
And there's always been football. There's been high school games, college games. It's always been around as far as we know. And then like during this era, I can't quite put my finger on when it started. It was maybe the 90s. I'm not sure. But that's when the NFL started, like it got to be big.
Yeah, I think it did become more of it brought people together. As you said before, it's very testosterone driven, so
Mhm.
men have always been a fan of it, but I do think women started to come along.
Yes, because it was trending.
Yes, and they were able to, they could have their little girl time hanging out with their little besties, when the husbands are maybe in the other room watching, the maybe not the necessarily huge TV screens, but the guys would be in the other room watching the game, and the girls had their opportunity to, make some chips and dip and things like that. And we had friends that were definitely known for having the Super Bowl parties,
Oh
right? And they'd
yeah.
be married couples, and it would be just as we described. It was a way for everybody to get together. And I don't necessarily remember if they would allow kids to come. The kids, they might have found babysitters for the kids that night, but it was definitely something that got to be really, really big with everybody.
Yes, yes. And
It's
that's
really
one
cool.
thing, like you said, for the guys, they're all about the tailgating. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So getting into that, as we mentioned, a little bit of chip and dip. Fun fact, American football gave rise to a modern thing that we know as tailgating, but it first was documented at a Rutgers and Princeton football game back
Mm.
in 1869.
Oh, that's going back some years.
It's going to jog a couple memories, huh?
Couple centuries.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody within the sound of our voice know about this? Probably not. But yeah, so the trick to the whole theme of a tailgate, because obviously it started off very small and it wasn't anything that was anything particular that they were bringing. They weren't thinking about it, just kind of happened.
Right.
Now it's a thing. And the trick to it is you want to do things that are crowd pleasing, easy to eat. So, as we mentioned, people make special dips. Buffalo chicken is a big one. People bring their chilies. And then you talk about finger foods like wings and meatballs and sliders and poppers. And, everybody knows if you want a good brat, you go to a tailgate somewhere.
Yeah.
You're going to get yourself a good sausage or brat for sure.
What's the matter with you?
You can tell this is Coop and hubby's little thing. This is their thing. They like this. Yeah. We are all thumbs with this. Like, my hubby likes racing and stuff. So he's not really a huge football fan. He doesn't really care too much about it other than the maybe rival college games. But Coop and her hubby, this is it for them.
We definitely do get excited when this time of year rolls around. Again, it being in fall, that's two snaps for that, right? We'll give it a living color, a living color reference. So tongue tied, my gosh.
He's thinking about that tailgating.
But yeah, so the tailgates, people, you don't, depending on what time the game is, you probably don't need to worry about having breakfast, lunch, or dinner if you're going to a game that day.
All day
You'll
affair.
probably be
Yes.
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really cool because it just really adds to the ambiance of the whole affair. It gives it it just brings you into it for that whole day. So it's really cool. It's a neat concept.
What's you guys' favorite snack though? Like when you are tailgating or hosting a party, like what is your favorite thing? Like, well, that better be on the table. I want that.
Well, I would love to say that it would be something like kebabs because that would be amazing.
Oh, okay.
But I would say definitely dips are easier.
Dips are good.
Dips travel and wings. Wings travel pretty well.
I like cheese balls too. Oh my god.
Cheese balls are pretty amazing,
Yes,
right?
they are. You get the right ones.
Now, when you do a cheese ball, do you like crackers, Triscuits, wheat thins? Like, what's your choice? Or do you like it on like vegetables? Like, what do you like with your cheese dips?
Crackers. I like crackers. I
Mm,
like the club crackers and I like the wheat thins.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
They have their own little layer of flavor. And they got a little crunch too.
they do.
So yeah, as we mentioned, our nostalgia for football. Uh when we were younger, as Rizzo mentioned, we were into it in high school because of certain reasons, hormones probably. But we go a couple clips back further. Do you remember what our team was back in the 80s? Because we were young and we didn't really get what football was, but Dad would watch a few games here and there. And do you remember what our first team that we were like, we just kind of picked it out of the air, but we were like, no, it's probably because looking back on it now, Mom and Dad had a really good friend that lived over there in this city. But
Yeah, it was back in the 80s. That would have been the Pittsburgh Steelers.
yeah.
Yeah, that was life back then. Everybody liked the Steelers.
Yeah, they were pretty huge. They were pretty huge. And again, here we are. We lived in another state and we're rooting for the state's team. It's like, what? Okay. Natural born rebels, as mentioned.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we started liking Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, we switched to them.
Yep, yep. And I will say, after a while, once I kind of continued on with enjoying the sport, I didn't necessarily understand all the rules and never claimed to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do enjoy it and I do understand it way more now than I did. But I had started liking the Saints, but I made it back to the Bucks, right? I'm back to the Buccaneers. So that is my team. So, and we will pretty much watch any game on, right? Because we enjoy football that much. But we do have our teams for sure. And then my husband and I have rival teams.
Oh, there
And
we go. There's where it gets interesting.
yeah, it's funny because he'll root for my team when his team isn't playing. But when we are playing each other's teams, we do. We root for our own team.
Wow, well, nostalgia flat out didn't understand football, huh? No.
Right? So crazy. But I'm glad that we're having this conversation about football because this is something that is seriously heavy in pop culture. If you were with us last week, we talked about another game that was really, really huge, and that was Monopoly. And if you didn't catch it, I believe you had mentioned the fact that there was, an NFL themed Monopoly game.
It was. It was
Okay.
my NFL edition of Monopoly. Yep.
So this sport has pop culture written all over it. It has heartstrings pulling on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
the NFL is big for a lot of reasons, and it's something very traditional. It's something that can be passed on generationally, like within families, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes these kids will deviate and they'll start liking somebody else. But a lot of times you'll get a long line, whether it's something you're collegiate and part of the alumni of a school, or, you got family members that play for a team. So, I mean, this has all the makings to being very, very big and people sentimental about it and charged, very charged about it. Like it can be sketchy if you get too deep into it. But being the fact that it is so big in pop culture, you can go back a number of years in movies and TV where
Mm-hmm.
it was big. And I would say there's a few movies that if I rattled them off, like Brian's Song, that's one that people probably know. because I believe that one was from the 70s. And that's probably one of the first ones I can kind of remember. I remember Mom even watched that one.
Yeah, who was that? That was the one actor from Godfather. It was it James Caan?
Yes.
And
Yes.
of course, it was oh, I can't think of his name right now in Star Wars, but he was Billy D. Williams. And
Yes.
what was his name in Star Wars? I can't.
Lando Calrissian.
Oh, that wasn't coming. Yeah, but anything that dude was in, our mom was like, okay.
Yes. You totally made the connection. I totally forgot about that.
That was her tall drink of water back then. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So no wonder she watched it.
Yes, and then we got some other movies with that, again, this might be somebody's introduction to sports, just watching it in pop culture instead of actually going to games and stuff and being familiar.
Yeah.
Just a couple I remember was and they actually did two versions of it, like they remade it, but The Longest Yard.
Yes, yes, they have done a couple of those. Yep.
I
Hmm.
think Burt Reynolds was in the first one, and then Adam Sandler, they remade it when he was in his prime.
Yep.
Any Given Sunday with Jamie Foxx.
Al Pacino
Yeah, Al
and
Pacino, and what's her
yep,
name?
Cameron Diaz.
Yep, not happening today. Remember the movie, but I can't remember the folks that starred in it. But yeah, that was a good movie, and I love the soundtrack to that one. That one make you think of football.
It really did. It did.
Mhm.
And it captured that whole 90s vibe at the time.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
totally captured that. You have like Jerry Maguire, which had Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr., who both played high school football themselves when they were in high school as young bucks. Tom Cruise was also in one called All the Right Moves. Uh, that movie with Samwise Gamgee. I mean, Sean Austin. Rudy. Rudy, he was all things Notre Dame in that movie. He went for it. Like, and he brought home, I think, a serious. I don't remember if he won an award for that, but I think he got a serious nod for his portrayal of how much of he was a diehard fan who was determined to play football for them, and he did it. So that's cool in that movie. I think it was based on a true story, actually.
Oh, that's interesting. That kind of makes a nice twist to the things that you enjoy watching in a movie.
Absolutely. And another one that was pretty big for a lot of people was Varsity Blues, and that had the late Paul Walker in it.
That would have been why I'd have been watching it.
And that is why I watched it.
Busted ×2.
So, yeah, I mean, like we said, you've got Monopoly that has, saw that there was a crowd, that there's a definite market for it. So they produce something for those fans. Trivial Pursuit is another game that probably has a lot of NFL themes in it. And it's interesting because I will say naively, I thought that the NFL was mainly just an American sport.
Mm.
I thought that we were the only ones who played the sport this way. Yes, there's soccer, and that's football, obviously, for everyone else. That's football, but soccer here. And I found out in research that there's actually teams around in other countries that play football like they do here. So yeah, it gets the crowd going. People are excited, and that's universal now, right? Like it's global, and that's really cool. So we've traveled around a bit. I believe in 2005 is when they started going and playing internationally here. Our teams from the US would go, and I believe they went to Mexico, and I believe that they also went to, I think they went to Canada, London. Maybe it was London. Anyway, they started doing that in '05, but it'd be like maybe a game here, a game there. They didn't do it like a lot. Now they do quite a few games.
Okay.
And know of personally a few people. There was a family that went over for the game, the Minnesota and I believe it was Pittsburgh game. That was in Ireland. Ireland. And they also made a full European vacation out of it. They went for the game. That's what jump started their vacation. But then they just, were over there for like another month, I think, just traveling around while they were there, which is cool. Might as well.
That is cool.
And then I know of someone else who did like just a quick trip because I had to get back to, life over here. They didn't have the luxury of staying over there longer. But they went to the London game because they went for the Browns in the Minnesota game over there. So really, really cool that they're doing that. And I think there's going to be a couple more. I believe there might be one or two, maybe in Germany, and I think maybe in Canada, but and potentially in the South American country, maybe. So they move around.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they're taking it there to these other places, I think is what's really led to it becoming so much bigger on a global stage. And then these other countries forming their own teams to play. I love that. I think that is so cool.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, because I'm not like a fan, so my memories or my recollection of it is basically here. So that to me, that just sounds like something complete. I mean, it's football, but like I feel like that's kind of like apple pie here. It's
Yeah.
in my mind. So.
Yeah, because this is where it originated. This is what we
Hmm.
know. And it's cool that they're moving in that direction, but it is very much something that feels here.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about so much that we talk about here on the podcast, how things in modern times are just kind of watered down from what it once was. Like they just make it so accessible or it just expands and it explodes and it
Yeah.
kind of loses the sacredness that it had in the initial. Although they want it to grow, you want it to grow, but like I think it just goes off the rails sometimes. And that's with anything movie making, we're talking about sports, even food production.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not the same when it's just like a little mom and pop type setup. Then now it's like a big corporation type thing. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it does. It does change things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the gamble they're always willing to make because they want it to go global. They want things to be as big as it can be. And like you said, then it does change the ingredients. It has to.
It does.
I mean, it can't remain what it once was if it gets to be because you want to cater to everybody, which, okay, that's the direction you're going. So you got to make those changes. Now, for those of us still stateside and knowing the game how it is played here, because I don't know if all the rules are the same in these other places. I have no clue. I've never watched an international team. But we have the NFL, which of course everybody knows.
That's right.
And within that, there are the two conferences. There are the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference, better known as the NFC and the AFC. And they both have 16 teams in both of those divisions.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then there's also the UFL. And I'll tell you right now, I'm sure there are fans for that. I'm sure there are people who are that fanatical that they must watch football as much as they can whenever it's playing. But I'll say my husband and I are not into watching that.
Oh, okay. It's not quite your jam.
Yeah, so
Okay.
no shade. That's cool, and it's cool that they have, these players have a place to still get out and do what they enjoy doing and make a living doing it. So that's cool. But yeah, we don't really get into that, so I don't really know much about it. But as far as like college, that's something we definitely tune into on our Saturdays. There's still what we know that people talk about the Friday night lights. You already talked about it, those high school football games, that's on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think most of the week you can find a football game if you want. And whether it's on, live TV or if you want to go and you're in the stadium or whatever and enjoy everything that comes along with being in the presence of the fans, watching the team. Speaking of, have you ever been to an actual football game? Other than you Yes, high school. You've been to the high school ones, but anything college or because I know you just went to the baseball game, which was big time. But
No, I've never been to a pro game. I've never been to a college game.
okay, okay. I've been to a couple college games and it's fun. But I will say this, I think I do enjoy it better on TV
Okay.
because you can see all the angles.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You
Yeah.
got I love the crowd. I love everybody getting into it and they're chanting and they're doing all that kind of stuff. That's fun. And I think if you're going to the game, that's what you're going for, to be in the spirit of things.
Yeah.
Because you don't always have a good seat. You might have somebody who's taller than you or bigger than you, and you can't really see if you got to go to the bathroom. You come back, you miss stuff.
Or you got all these drunk, obnoxious people around you and you're freezing your butt off in the real world.
Exactly. That's it. They can easily be snowing, like you said, goodness, wind blowing, rain, and you may not get a rain date. So,
Yeah, I'd rather be at home under the blanket by the fire with your favorite snacks all snuggly warm.
yes, definitely take that all day, every day.
100% hashtag facts.
But I do give it to the ones who like being in the public. I do, because it's like they, you know, they bear down and they get in there, and especially if they want to take the kids. I like them wanting to take their kids so they can kind of experience what it feels like, because you don't really get that on TV. So
Yeah, yeah.
for a once in a while occasion, I think that's kind of cool for kids. But we're coming to the close of this rambling conversation about the NFL season. But it did start early in September and it will go through January. And the crescendo, of course, comes in February of any given year. And that is the Super Bowl. Right?
Yes.
And people, they get excited for the teams and
And the commercials.
and definitely the commercials.
Super
But
Bowls.
it's funny. It's like, because it kind of really depends too on which teams make it, because your team may not make it, but people usually will still watch the Super Bowl. And who are they lining up to see? The halftime show, right? They kind of want to know who's performing. And for this coming year, it's going to be Bad Bunny for Super Bowl 60.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and they won't be dealing with any snow or anything like that because they're going to be in sunny California. So,
Oh, that's cool beans.
right?
Yes.
So definitely, we hope we struck a few chords with you. Maybe we jogged a couple memories or two for you. Maybe it was the high school games. Maybe you have your own rival team that you rally for and you're across the state line. Hey, we're here for it, right? We want to hear all about it. So again, hit us up. Let us know what's going down in your football season.
And who you rooting for? Who's your teams? Who you think's going to head to the Super Bowl? Weigh in. And And that's it for this week's Touchdown, but there's more where that came from. Visit the Retro Orchard weekly for a sweeter, nostalgic experience.